What's good, YouTube? We back at it, man. I wanted to speak about a few things, just address a few subjects. First of all, I don't spend a lot of time, just so we get this out the way, talking about Cody Rhodes right now. I know he's the heavyweight champion. I know that's the headliner for any wrestling show. It's the male heavyweight champion. But the reality is, and I've said this before on the show, the championship is an inanimate object. The actual position of champion is nothing but position. A position. The prestige given to it, comes from the individual that is holding the belt and holding the title. All right? The individual Cody Rhodes has not sold me yet. Or I haven't been sold on him yet. Now, I'm going to give him a chance. I'm not going to put out a bunch of videos hating on the guy, which some people do, and that's their way. That's not my type of content, unless it's warranted. Right now, the guy is just, I'm just giving him a chance. I'm going to sit back and see. How does he follow the reign of someone like Roman Reigns? Can he fill those shoes? Can he keep us compelled and interested in that title? We'll see. So far last night, I'm not going to put that on him. I'll put that more so on Triple H. It's Triple H's, and in conjunction with creative's job, to come up with a few for him. And right now, Triple H just came up with a 6-man battle tournament, whatever you want to call it, to find out who his next opponent is. Because Triple H is the type of guy, apparently, that, okay, I got 7. He thinks like this. I have 7 days to come up with a show. I have to come up with a few for Cody. Right now, I can't think of nothing because we still coming off of WrestleMania. What's the easiest way to get this done? Okay, let's do a 6-man, tournament, so that way I can have Bobby Lashley busy. I can have AJ Styles busy. I can have LA Knight busy. I can take care of 5 or 6 guys on the roster, give them something to do. This is how he thinks. I can say learning on the fly. But this is the reason why, like most of my videos, I'm not addressing every single match and every single character. I'm sorry if I'm not talking about your favorite character, but every character doesn't interest me, and I'm just trying to get to what really I find compelling, because that's all I can really talk about. After last night, and we saw what transpired and what they're doing with Bianca Belair, Jade, Cargill team up. I spoke on it last night, and I watched some of the playbacks of it that YouTube puts out, that WWE puts on YouTube, and I'm reading the comment section. I'm looking for the responses of fans, and this constant thing I'm seeing regarding Bianca is Bianca heel turn coming, or Bianca Belair needs to turn heel, or I can't wait till Bianca turns heel. And I have a serious question for the whole wrestling community and those who feel this way. What is with this obsession with Bianca Belair being heel? What is this obsession with it? Why do people feel that she must be a heel? And please comment down below. Don't just keep moving on and, listen, if I'm not interesting to you, I understand. That's okay, right? But, because everyone isn't for everybody. I acknowledge that. I'm very self-aware. But I'm really interested in what is it about her that makes people believe, or makes you believe, that she's best as a heel. Because I don't see it. Now, I'm going to tell you what I do see with her, and even with Jade Cargill. I see Bianca Belair, the best version of Bianca Belair, is as a face that's edgy, a face with an edge. Right? She doesn't do well, or I don't think it's best for her to be the angelic type, naivete type of character. right, that some can have. No, just think about how Becky Lynch is. Think about Becky Lynch. Becky Lynch is a face of the company and is a baby face for the primarily for the better part of her time at WWE. I think we would agree with that, right? However, Becky Lynch is not the baby face that, say, a Molly Holly was, for all of you who may remember Molly Holly. You know, very smiley Molly Holly. And I don't even think she would be the same as even, say, a Trish Stratus when Trish Stratus was a face. Becky Lynch calls herself the Man. And I think her appeal is her attitude. I'm this hard-working person from Ireland who came from humble beginnings, who loved wrestling my whole life, and I idolized Lita and Becky Lynch and Lita and Trish Stratus and Jazz and all of them, and I came up and I bust my ass and I work hard and I will not let nothing stop me, the Man, I will, and that's her appeal, and I get it. I'm a ring tactician. I am very smart in the ring. I'm not the biggest, not the strongest, whatever. Like, in other words, she is a face with an edgy attitude. I think, though, what happens with Bianca Belair is any type of edginess, for some people, for her, she's heel. Now, I'm going to tell you why I don't see heel. Because I understand these things can be objective. Or subjective, subject to subjectivity and how, we view humans and so on. I realize that it's part of it. A heel to me, this is where we should be clear. A heel to me is an individual wrestler that comes out pretty much, he has a certain type of relationship with the locker room, has a certain type of relationship with the fan base, and projects a certain type of relationship with the leadership or the authority figures, whether it's the general manager, the owner of the company, so on. Okay? The heel, when he deals with the crowd, he's typically agitating the crowd, trolling the crowd, calling the crowd idiots, saying that they're better than everyone in the crowd, like Rick Rude, will come out there and be like, oh, you fat, lazy bastards, come out here, and, he all cut up, spend all that time in the gym, he take his robe off and, let your woman look at a real man, right? That's a heel. Even we look at the recent Bailey turn. Her whole thing was, I'm just going to start calling the crowds idiots and so on. Same thing with The Rock. He trolls the crowd. He starts just roasting the people in the crowd and roasting the city. He does research prior to coming to that city, and he roasted Jalen Hurts. That's a heel. When the heel wrestles, the heel will win by any means necessary, whereas the face won't. The heel comes out there and is expected to do shady shit. The heel might pull a foreign object out of their trunks, bust somebody in the head with it to win. The heel might have the cronies waiting for the right moment, that if I'm about to lose, come out there and just do anything to disrupt the match. Hit the person when the ref ain't looking, win that way, so on and so forth. What I'm saying is, I can't see Bianca Belair being that type of character. I can't ever see a Bianca Belair that comes out there and is, say, wrestling a Charlotte Flair and is about to lose, and she has Jade Cargill run in there and then attack Charlotte Flair from the back, and then she takes that type of win. I can't see Bianca Belair being the type to, when she's about to lose, to tries to hurt say a Bailey prior to the match in order to try to make it easier for her to win. I don't see that. What I do see is, I can see her as a face that has an attitude, or a face that has an edge, similar to the type of face that a guy like what's my man, Randy Orton would be. See, like Randy Orton, sometimes heels. He started out as heel, excellent heel. That was one of my favorites of all time. Was the Legend Killer Randy Orton? Oh man, I love that. I love that. But Randy, even when he goes face, it's like he's still Randy. You know what I mean? At any moment he can RKO your ass out of nowhere. But he's beloved. He's a face, but a face with a little attitude, with a little edge. He ain't no chump. You ain't getting over on him. He ain't naive. And I think that's what it is. I think this is the proper way to view her. That, like Naomi's face, you saw the contrast there with the dialogue between her and Naomi leading up to the WrestleMania showdown against Damage Control, was one where Naomi is the type, it's not right what they're doing to Bayley. I'm going to help her. I'm not concerned about what happened in the past. The past is the past. Let's move on. Whereas Bianca is the type where she's like, no, me and Bayley have had a feud going back years. I have been getting jumped by Damage Control for years, or at least for over a year. And, as far as I'm concerned, it doesn't change overnight. Bayley is getting what was due her, etc., so on. But some fans, they believe this is a heel. This is heel stuff. And I don't see it. I don't see where that's heel. I think her attitude represents the way the majority of people are. The majority of people don't just drop grudges like that, especially when there is no apology, or the person that you had a grudge with didn't properly show that they've changed. They didn't do anything for you to demonstrate it. Most people don't just go based off of just a word or something that simple. I think she was normal. There was nothing heelish in it. Even with Jade Cargill. All right, now this is going to be controversial. People think Jade Cargill is a natural heel. I would say yes and no. Yes and no. Jade Cargill, I think, is the type that is brash, bold, unapologetic, don't give a shit one way or another if you like her, don't like her, at least her character. I don't know as a person how she feels, but this is the energy she gives off. Like, look, I'm the shit. I'm coming to take over. I'm going to take all the air out of the room when I walk in, right? But I still don't really get heel from her. Because when she comes out and she's introduced, she shakes hands with the fans. Right? She does do that. But she still is like, look, I'm the shit. See, to me, and then with Jade, the same way, I don't see Jade cheating to win. I don't see her doing little sneaky, sly stuff to win. That's the part of the heel part I don't see with either one of them. Because that would undermine the character. That undermines the dominance. That undermines the hours in the gym. That undermines the strength that I have. Like, it wouldn't fit well with two characters that dominate based off of just their physicality. Right? That's like, really, it's like the Legion of Doom, if you remember them, who were so physically dominant. Hawk and Animal came out there, both beasts, both body slamming people, coming off the top rope, like doing clotheslines, just all power stuff, right? It wouldn't look right for them to cheat to win, to backstab and do the types of things that heels typically do. It wouldn't look right and it wouldn't work. Why? Because it undermines the dominance that they have in the ring as wrestlers. This is why I don't think the heel thing works for these two. Because now you'll have edgy faces, sure. Look at Stone Cold, one of the greatest baby faces in the history of this business. But Stone Cold was an edgy face, an attitude having face, which is what these two are. This is what I see them as. They're not heels. And I don't know why people keep saying that they're not heels. They're edgy faces. Now, I understand this. I might see it this way, and it could be because I'm a black person. I don't know. I'm not going to just say it's about race, though, because I think there are some black people who feel that way. But what I think is people aren't making the proper assessment of the two. And I don't think in their mind they understand what heel. To them, face, I think, is just something like a, happy, naive, give me a hug type of person. Whereas a heel is just, someone with an attitude. It's not the case. It's not the case. LA Knight, for example, I think most people would say is a face, right? But look at what he does as a face. He shows up at AJ Styles' house ready to rumble. Something that some people would interpret as a heelish. But no, AJ Styles in this particular feud is kind of the heel side. Whereas LA Knight is kind of the face. And this is what Triple H does. LA Knight's getting the big cheers, so I'm going to make him the face, right? Even though AJ Styles is the more seasoned guy and he's a great, wrestler, I'm going to make him the heel. Even though AJ Styles typically wasn't really a heel, necessarily, to me, So, this I don't get. And I'm all ears if someone can explain to me why they see heel in Bianca Belair, and even in Jade Cargill. Jade Cargill goes out there and just, say whatever you want about her wrestling. She beat you fair and square. She beat you because, in her mind, I'm the shit. It's not like, she's sneaking and winning and all of that, which is really the essence of a heel. For me, that's the essence of a heel. The heel will win by all means. They don't have standards. The heel doesn't have a code that they live by. A heel, he just has no limits as to what he'll do in order to win. Whereas a face does. A face just won't do certain shit to win. And that's pretty much the difference for me. It's not the attitude. It's not the fact she says, girl, It's not the fact that she says, hey, you know what? That ain't even it. Even in NXT, she was edgy, attitudey, unapologetic, but not necessarily a heel in my estimation. But yeah, tell me what you think, man, about this particular subject. And again, them two look crazy. Even though they only have 5 minutes. And then they had a little backstage segment, which they didn't air, unfortunately. I think they should have aired because eyes are on these two. Okay, you just look at the number of views the videos get, the number of comments that they get, the amount of conversation it sparks. Yeah. Just let me know what you think, man. You know what I mean? Peace out.